we are ready to begin with this evening's awards presentation ceremony. I request members of the audience who are standing to please kindly be seated. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Access Development Services and HSBC India, I welcome you all to the presentation ceremony of the Inclusive Finance India Awards 2025. We are grateful and excited for all of you to have joined us here for this very important celebration. We are very thrilled to present the 17th Inclusive Finance India Awards this evening, and we are glad that across the 17 years, the Inclusive Finance India Awards have become well established in the financial inclusion space and are coveted amongst stakeholders. Without further ado, we will now begin with the presentation ceremony of the 17th Inclusive Finance India Awards. May I first take the pleasure to invite the esteemed dignitaries for today's ceremony onto the stage. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sudipto Saha, Head Financial Inclusion, Access Development Services. We warmly welcome onto the stage Mr. Hitendra Dave, Chief Executive Officer, HSBC India. Our very warm welcome, our esteemed Chief Guest, Dr. V. Anantha Nageswaran, Chief Economic Advisor of India, Department of Economic Affairs, Ministry of Finance, Government of India. May I also request Mr. Vipin Sharma, CEO Access, to please join us on stage. A very good evening and a very warm welcome to all of you. We first welcome the esteemed dignitaries on the dais with flowers. May I request for flowers to be brought forth, please? From here. This side. Sudipto. May I request Mr. Sudipto Saha to please do us the honors. A warm welcome to our esteemed chief guest and our esteemed guest, Mr. Hitendra Dave, Chief Executive Officer, HSBC India. To begin the proceedings, I invite Mr. Sudipto Saha, Head Financial Inclusion Access Development Services, to provide us with a brief introduction to the awards.
Good evening, everyone, and respected dignitaries on the dais. Dr. V. Anantha Nageswaran, Chief Economic Advisor of India, Department of Economic Affairs, Ministry of Finance, Government of India, Mr. Dave and Vipin. On behalf of Access and HSBC, it is my privilege to welcome you all for the presentation ceremony of the 17th Inclusive Finance India Awards. The awards have been a sub-initiative of the Inclusive Finance India platform since 2009 that aims at facilitating and celebrating great work and wonderful contributions of financial institutions, enablers, and also individuals towards advancing the agenda of financial inclusion in the country. In alignment with the evolution of the financial inclusion landscape, the award categories have evolved over the years. In 2009, we had 4 categories, but today we have around 10 categories for which the awards would be given, which are Financial Inclusion Institution of the Year, Vijay Lakshmi Das Award for Small and Emerging MFOs. This is instituted in partnership with FWWB and Ananya in the memory of late Vijay Lakshmi Das ma'am. FinTech for Bharat Award, Enterprise Lending Entity of the Year, Affordable Housing Finance Entity of the Year, Responsible Finance for Sustainability Award, Inclusive Capital Award, Private Equity Investor in Financial Inclusion, Contribution to the Sector by an Enabling Institution, lifetime contribution to the sector by an individual. So these are 10 categories in which the awards will be given away this evening. In terms of process, the award nominations are shortlisted by technical committees constituted for each category, and top 3 nominations are taken to the grand jury for selection of the final winner. I'd like to place on record our gratitude to the members of all the technical evaluation committees that help us review and shortlist the nominations. The grand jury for 2025 awards constituted of eminent and expert leaders from the financial sector. And the jury basically was chaired by Mr. Hitendra Dave, CEO HSBC India. We had N.S. Vishwanathan, former Deputy Governor, Reserve Bank of India, who is the co-chair. Mr. Vijay M. Tonse, Managing Director, State Bank of India. Srinivas Nagaraju, MD and Head of Asia, British International Investments. Tamal Bandyopadhyay, Consulting Editor, Business Standard. Harjinder Kang, British Deputy High Commissioner for Western India. N. Srinivasan, Development Finance Expert. Maya Vengurlekar, COO, CRISIL Foundation. Rohit Sone, MD and CEO, India Ratings and Research. Prachi Jain, Country Director, Michael and Susan Dell Foundation. Sudipta Roy, Managing Director and CEO, L&T Finance. Arun Sharma, Advisor, World Bank. Ling Shu, Regional Industry Manager, Financial Institution Group, IFC. So these were 13 names who are experts in their own field, which was part of the jury and finalized with their important inputs. I would also like to place on record our deepest gratitude and appreciation for the members of the grand jury for the time and guidance and helping us selecting the winners. I again like to take this opportunity to thank HSBC, who had been the most amazing, steadfast partners since 2009 when we instituted this particular award, and they're still being with us. And we have been receiving wonderful support each year on year. And thank you, Mr. Nageswaran, for joining us. Your presence will inspire and encourage the winners to continue the crusade for ensuring inclusion to all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Saha. I would now like to invite Mr. Hitendra Dave, Chief Executive Officer, HSBC India, to please deliver his opening address.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Dr. Nageswaran, Chief Economic Advisor, Government of India, Vipin Sharma, CEO, Access Development Services, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. As the previous speaker just mentioned, we've been doing this since 2009, right? That takes you back almost 16 years. In the first year, we only had 4 categories of winners. This time we have about 11 categories. And I just want to assure everybody that this is not one of those awards that we do for flaky PR purposes. I think if you take the time to just go through the list of jury members that we have, I think it's people who are very, very eminent in their field. Deputy Governor, Reserve Bank of India, CEO of L&T Finance, whom I see is there in the front row, the British Deputy High Commissioner, senior journalists like Tamalda, who again is in the front row here, and many, many others who actually voluntarily spend a lot of time to go through each of the shortlisted recommendations. And even in the shortlisting of the recommendations, we have technical committees. So first thing I do want to tell everybody here is that we take this very, very seriously. Okay, we take this seriously because I think both Access Development Services and HSBC, I think, came to the conclusion quite early on that if India is to achieve its potential, if India is to do justice to the opportunity that we all hear about, talk about, believe in as well, it is not going to happen without proper inclusion, right? It cannot be that 5% of our country or 10% of our country or the people living in South Mumbai and South Delhi, etc., they get to be Viksit Bharat, but others are left behind. And the only way to do so is to have a formal program of financial inclusion. I don't think anybody in the world can argue against the enormous efforts made by the Government of India in particular, especially through the Jan Dhan account mechanism, to get 60, 70 crore accounts opened within a couple of years, and then get those accounts to be used regularly for sending monies. So, and then, and bring those 60, 70 crore people into the financial system. I think it's quite incredible, and we are trying to make sure that agencies, entities, individuals, groups of people who are doing something unique, something special, something different, we are able to recognize them, we are able to reward them, we are able to put them on a bit of a stage here so that it inspires others, right? Because I think it is our belief that if we have to be a Viksit Bharat or a developed country by 2047, the amount of work needed to be done in financial inclusion is enormous and huge, and anything that any of us can do will be a small effort towards that much larger objective. So with that background, I thank you all once again for joining. I thank Vipin for his continued partnership and support. I thank the jury members for spending their whole day going over reams and reams of data, and to ensure that this particular subject continues to remain relevant, important, and we are able to convey it in a sincere and serious format. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Dave, for setting the tenor for the awards presentation ceremony. We will now begin with the felicitation of our winners. Since the Microfinance Organization of the Year is the oldest category for the Inclusive Finance India Awards, it may be appropriate to begin the awards presentation with this category of institutions that has beaten the odds and overcome challenges and has continued to exist and serve the last mile clients in a viable and sustainable manner. Announcing the winner of the award for Microfinance Organization of the Year, please put your hands together for Muthoot Microfinance Limited. Many congratulations. We have the team being led by Mr. Sadaf Saeed, Muthoot Microfinance Limited. May I request them to please join us on stage? Muthoot Microfinance Limited was established in 2010 as the microfinance arm of the Muthoot Papachand Group, making a strategic business diversification for the conglomerate. The institution successfully secured the NBFC MFI license issued by the RBI in 2015. The company's establishment was in line with the RBI's November 2009 vision to bring financial assistance to every village in India. Committed to the philosophy of serving the underserved and aligning with the greater goal of financial inclusion by the Government of India, Muthoot Microfinance began its operations to provide timely, transparent, and affordable financial services to marginalized and vulnerable communities. It quickly emerged as the largest microfinance NBFC in Kerala. We have the esteemed chief guest and the dignitaries on the dais presenting the plaque and the certificate and the citation. Congratulations to you all for a very well-deserved recognition. Mr. Saeed, to kindly say a few words.
It's a great honor to receive this award. I think I see the names of the institutions who have won this award previously. So the great names out there who have made the difference, I think this is a very august gathering. We are very humbled and honored to receive this award. And once again, I would like to just say that we stay committed to the financial inclusion space, and we stay committed to making the difference. Whatever we have done in the past 15 years, I think this is well-deserved recognition for that, but I think the journey has just begun. The revolution in microfinance space is happening now. We are looking towards meaningful financial inclusion. So we'll continue with our journey. Thank you very much for recognizing us, Access and all the jury and the people who have contributed to this. Thank you very much on behalf of Muthoot Microfinance. Thank you.
Congratulations, Muthoot. You are in August company. Announcing the winner of the Vijay Lakshmi Das Award for Small and Emerging Microfinance Organization, hosted in partnership with FWWB. This category was introduced in 2020 to pay homage to Vijay Ma'am's vision of supporting emerging institutions with the ethos of client centricity and inclusion of the last mile. And for the presentation of this award, may I invite on stage Mr. S.S. Bhatt, CEO, FWWB. Please welcome with an applause. And the winner of this award is Grameen Shakti Microfinance Services Private Limited. Many congratulations to the entire team, Grameen Shakti Microfinance Services Private Team, to please kindly come on stage and accept the award. Evolution of Grameen Shakti Microfinance Services Private Limited owes its origin to the Society for Model Gram Bikash Kendra, which started its journey with a meager own capital of 74,000 as NGO MFI under the affiliation of research organization called Center for Research in Indo-Bangladesh Relations. SMG BK's first branch was opened in Purmanagar, Ranaghat. SMG BK continued its good work by utilizing its own funds till the year 2006. I request Dr. Nageswaran to please present the plaque and Mr. Dave to kindly hand over the certificate and citation. Heartiest congratulations, Mr. Ganesh Chandra Modak and the entire team for a very well-deserved recognition. और मोदक जी से अनुरोध है कि वे कृपया सभा को संबोधित करें. मोदक जी अपने विचार साझा कीजिए.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Judy, to select us. At least more than 30 years we are serving the sector. And this award, I think is the recognition of our clients, those who have repaid even during COVID also, and our staff, those who are from the beginning with us. Thank you very much again and again. Now, I will thanks to audience and again Judy to select our like smaller company, and it is our very proud and privilege also. Thank you very much.
Heartiest congratulations to the entire team. And now the third award of this evening, Affordable Housing Finance Entity of the Year. This category was introduced to recognize the commitment of housing finance companies to the development of underserved communities by helping them access safe and improved homes. And this award goes to Vastu Housing Finance Corporation Limited. Many congratulations to you. May I request the team to please join us on stage. Every dream begins with a spark, a home to call one's own, a business ready to grow, or the courage to start anew. Vastu Housing Finance Corporation was built to turn those sparks into reality. Founded by seasoned retail bankers Sandeep Menon and Sujay Patil, Vastu began with a simple belief: access to credit should never be defined by geography or background, but by aspiration and potential. I request Dr. Nageswaran to please present the plaque and Mr. Dave to kindly hand over the certificate and citation. Congratulations to the entire team for a very well-deserved recognition. I request Mr. Menon to kindly share his thoughts.
Thank you so much for this honor. We're deeply, deeply humbled. It's been a decade since we've been doing this at Vastu, and to receive an honor like this just further strengthens our commitment to build a strong, high-quality, inclusive housing finance platform in India that we can all be proud of. and just deep gratitude to the jury and to Access, HSBC, and all the partners. Thank you so much.
Our heartiest congratulations to you all. And now the next award of this evening, Enterprise Lending Award for the year. Put your hands together for Veritas Finance Limited, our winners. Many congratulations to the team. May I request you to please join us on stage to receive the award. Veritas Finance Limited, founded by D. Arulmani, is a company incorporated in 2015, registered with the Reserve Bank of India, and is classified under middle layer as per scale-based regulations issued by RBI to carry on the business of NBFC without accepting public deposits. Veritas, a financial inclusion initiative, aims to ensure a formal and affordable credit access to the underserved and semi-urban MSME segment customers running their small and micro enterprises. It has also recently diversified its operations. Congratulations. May I request you to please share your thoughts with us.
On behalf of Veritas, let me first of all thank the entire jury, the organization for putting up a fantastic and a big program like this. It's motivated us at the grassroots. So all of those 8,000 employees who work at the grassroots, I'm sure will feel this and be even more motivated to do what we set out to do, which is bring financial inclusion into the country. Thank you very much.
Our heartiest congratulations once again. The next award of this evening is for the FinTech for Bharat Award, and it goes to Dwara E-Registry Private Limited. Dwara E-Registry was established in 2019 to transform India's agricultural ecosystem by addressing three core challenges: lack of formal credit, climate risks, and weak market access for smallholder farmers, especially women, tenants, and climate vulnerable households. DERs leverages emerging technologies like remote sensing, AI, and ML for advanced analytics to deliver climate finance to otherwise excluded farmers. Come on, let's have an applause, please. Congratulations to Dwara E-Registry team. A very well-deserved recognition. I'll request Mr. Syed Tariq Alam for a brief acceptance speech.
On behalf of Dwara Registry, I'd like to thank Access, HSBC, and all the jury members for selecting us. We are just collecting the award. All the effort has been our team members, right from our field staff till the tech, those who are building the innovative products. And also I'd like to thank Dwara Holdings, initiated by Mr. Najiket Moore, the foundation that they have kept that the team is building on. So very thankful for the entire support. And this gives us more confidence to create an innovative product that can help women farmers, tenant farmers, and promote climate resilience. Thank you very much for the award.
Our heartiest congratulations. The next award for this evening is for the Responsible Finance for Sustainability, and this award goes to Muthoot Microfinance Limited. May I invite Mr. Sadaf Saeed, CEO, to please come on stage and receive the award. MML defines responsible finance as the disciplined integration of financial inclusion, customer protection, sustainability, and long-term institutional resilience. It is an RBI-licensed NBFC MFI and part of the Muthoot Papachan Group. It has built a scaled, diversified, and governance-led microfinance franchise. Congratulations to Mr. Sadaf Saeed for a very well-deserved recognition. If we could request you for a second acceptance speech.
Once again, thank you very much for recognizing the effort. As I said, we are committed to the sector and committed to make the impact. I think that's where it is. I think responsible lending is the space that we are in. I think the award is also for the vision that our promoter has put out there, that first the customer, the trust that is there, and then the profitability. So I think this is the recognition of that. I'm really thankful to the jury, HSBC, Access for kind of constituting this award and conferring this honor on us. Thank you very much, and I accept this on the behalf of the entire team, entire management, and everybody, the customers. Thank you very much.
Once again, our heartiest congratulations. The next award for the evening is Inclusive Capital Award, Private Equity Investor in Financial Inclusion. And the award under this category goes to FMO, the Dutch Entrepreneurial Development Bank. Put your hands together. May I request the team to please come on stage to receive the award. FMO is the Dutch Entrepreneurial Development Bank. As a leading impact investor, FMO supports sustainable private sector growth in developing countries and emerging markets by investing in ambitious projects and entrepreneurs. FMO believes that a strong private sector leads to economic and social development and has a 55-plus-year proven track record in empowering entrepreneurs to make local economies more inclusive, productive, resilient, and sustainable. Come on, let's extend a round of applause to them, please. Our heartiest congratulations to the entire team for a well-deserved recognition. May I request you to kindly share your thoughts with us.
At the outset, many thanks to the jury members and Access and HSBC for recognizing the efforts of FMO. I accept this award on behalf of FMO, who has been investing in India for several decades. And we are grateful to have been part of this journey of financial inclusion in India, and everyone right from the government to the regulators, and most importantly, our investee partners who have made this journey of foreign investors investing in financial inclusion in India a major global success story. So we are grateful for all of that, and with great thanks to our partners, investee partners in India, and the regulators and the capital markets at large. Thank you very much.
The next set of awards for the evening are for Inclusive Finance Changemaker Award, individual category. So put your hands together for Vandana Sandeep Chaudhary, our winner. Vandana Chaudhary from Jungalpada joined the program as a local solution provider to bridge the gap by bringing essential digital and financial services directly to households. What an achievement. With that, our next changemaker, please be ready. जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत कीजिए। सुश्री वंदना संदीप चौधरी। हमारी अगली चेंज मेकर हैं सुश्री डॉली। बहुत जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत कीजिए। आप सुपरवाइजर हैं, एरिया इंचार्ज, महिला सेवा, अर्बन कोऑपरेटिव थ्रिफ्ट एंड क्रेडिट सोसाइटी लिमिटेड, और बहुत ही कमिटेड ग्रास रूट्स लीडर हैं। She has played a transformative role in expanding financial access and is responsible for financial practices among underserved women in Delhi. Congratulations, बहुत बहुत बधाई। हमारी अगली चेंज मेकर तैयार रहें। शालू पंधरीनाथ गायकवाड़, आप मंच के पास आ जाएं। जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत कीजिए। हमारी अगली विजेता, next change maker, Ms. Shalu Pandharinath Gaikwad. She is a dedicated development professional with over 20 years of experience in empowering rural women through grassroots mobilization and inclusive development. She joined the Sampada Trust in 2002 as a Mahila Pravartak and has since played a key role in advancing the organization's vision of building confident, self-reliant women and resilient communities. अगली चेंज मेकर तैयार रहें, आप कृपया मंच के पास आ जाएं, मिस दीपाली देव सिंह। हमारी अगली चेंज मेकर या अगली विजेता, जोरदार तालियों से उनका स्वागत कीजिए, मिस दीपाली देव सिंह। आप अध्यक्ष हैं महिला सेवा अर्बन कोऑपरेटिव थ्रिफ्ट एंड क्रेडिट सोसाइटी लिमिटेड। She is also a grassroots leader whose leadership is deeply rooted in lived experiences. Having worked as a domestic worker herself, she understands economic insecurity, irregular incomes, and limited access to financial services faced by the women in the informal sector. Please welcome with a round of applause. इस मोनिका जी, यदि आप यहाँ पर हैं तो कृपया आप भी स्टेज पर आ जाएं। आपकी सहयोगी आपको भी मंच पर बुलाना चाहते हैं। आपको भी बहुत बहुत बधाई, बहुत जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत कीजिए। It's not easy coming from where they are to where they are here today, standing on this stage. Come on, let's give them an applause. हमारी अगली चेंज मेकर तैयार रहिए, सुश्री अन्नपूर्णा बाबूराव कालूर। आप कृपया मंच के पास आ जाएं। बहुत बहुत बधाई आपको। Our next change maker, our next winner, Ms. Annapurna Baburao Kalur. She is manager cum supervisor of the Gulabi Nirvahita Sampannulla Kendra, which is an inspiring grassroots leader from Kalaburagi district, Karnataka. She was born into a poor family and living with a physical disability from birth. She has overcome significant adversity. Let's give her a very, very huge round of applause. हमारे अगले चेंज मेकर तैयार रहें, कृपया मंच के पास आ जाएं, श्री चंद्रशेखर पैठाने। And our next change maker who dared to dream and make them a reality is Mr. Chandrasekhar Paithane. Customer service points with FIA Global. He has been actively contributing to financial inclusion under India's business correspondent model for nearly 2 decades. He started in 2007 as a business facilitator with SBI and later on joined FIA. हमारे अगले चेंज मेकर तैयार हैं, श्री सुनील कुमार। आप कृपया मंच के पास आ जाएं। Our next change maker, put your hands together for Mr. Sunil Kumar, Customer Service Points at FIA Global. He has played a pivotal role in strengthening financial inclusion by expanding access to formal banking services for underserved, unbanked populations across rural and semi-urban areas. He has been instrumental in conceptualizing and implementing a sustainable technology-enabled service framework that ensures equitable access to secure and affordable financial products. बहुत बहुत बधाई, congratulations. Our congratulations to all the change makers for a very, very well-deserved recognition. The next award for the evening is for contribution to advancing financial inclusion by an enabling institution. This award goes to International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD. May I call upon Mr. Mark D'Souza Shield, Country Director, IFAD India, to please collect the award. He is being accompanied by a team member. Our heartiest congratulations. Founded in response to a global food crisis, IFAD is a specialized United Nations agency and an international financial institution that tackles hunger and poverty in rural communities. Since 1977, IFAD-supported projects have reached hundreds of millions of people around the world. And over the years, they have grown in scope and scale, but mission remains the same. And now, more important than ever. Congratulations to Mr. Mark D'Souza Shield. May I request you to kindly share your thoughts with us?
Thank you very much, esteemed colleagues and friends. Since 1989, when IFAD began to work in inclusive finance in India with NABARD in Tamil Nadu, which saw the genesis of the self-help group rise up until today, where we see this incredibly rich ecosystem of inclusive financial institutions and professionals. IFAD has been very proud to have played a role demonstrating that inclusive finance works in every terrain, in every community, in every sector, in every corner of India. We're very proud to be part of this movement that has helped to improve the lives of so many million people in India and around the world, but not just improve their lives, empower them to do more, empower them to feel hope in the future. So thank you very much for this award and for all the dedication of your work and for the dedication of the team at IFAD. Thank you very much.
May I request Mr. Vipin Sharma, CEO Access, to kindly present a token of our appreciation and thanks to Mr. Mark D'Souza Shield, Country Director, IFAD, India. It's been an absolute honor to have you here with us this evening, sir. You continue to inspire us. The next award for the evening is for contribution to advancing financial inclusion by an individual. And ladies and gentlemen, this award goes to none other than Dr. Nachiket Moore. May I request for a standing ovation, please, for this person who has single-handedly dared to dream and bring them to reality. His first brush with rural development livelihood was during an internship with Pradhan in the summer of 1986. A deep faith in the power of finance and financial markets combined with a conviction that India's growth will be sustainable only with broad-based economic participation and investment in human capital. And this remarkable thought has shaped his amazing career. Come on, the applause should not die down. I'll request Dr. Moore to please kindly share his thoughts with us.
I want to thank Vipin and the Access Development Services for this award and the jury members that were involved in this. I know a lot of hard work goes into this thing, having been a member of many juries, it's really quite remarkable that they took the time out. As I mentioned to you when I spoke earlier, my background is that of a derivatives trader. I don't know much about microfinance or financial inclusion. Really, whatever I did under the umbrella of ICICI and Kamath Saab, who was always for innovation. But really, I would say my role was much more, there was a wonderful team with me, that had, I see many of them here. Puneet Gupta, I mentioned before, Sucharita, who was with Dwara, Govind, I saw him at another panel, Bindu Anant, P.H. Ravi Kumar, who built NCDEX, Manish Khera, Rishi, who built Fino. These are wonderful people that really, I'm, in a sense, basking in their reflected glory. Thank you again for this award, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
And Mr. Vipin Sharma, CEO Access, presenting a memento as a token of our appreciation and thanks. And may I say, sir, what an honor it is to be a witness to your achievements. May I request for another round of applause, please, for all the winners. And with that, we have come to the end of the awards presentation. We are very thankful to the honorable dignitaries on the dais for doing us the honors. And ladies and gentlemen, we are keen to hear from our eminent chief guest of this evening, but before that, I take the privilege of inviting our guest, our esteemed guest, to address the audience and give the keynote address. We would like to say that it's such an honor and privilege to have you here with us, sir, to guide us with your vision and mission. May I request you to kindly share your thoughts on this august occasion. Please welcome with a huge, big round of applause.
My fellow distinguished dignitaries on stage, awardees, friends, ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege to be here this evening to celebrate the people and institutions who have committed themselves to one of the most important and yet most easily misunderstood tasks in development economics, which is inclusive finance. We often speak of inclusion as though it were an end in itself. We count the number of bank accounts opened, the number of loans disbursed, and the number of mobile wallets activated. But inclusion, properly understood, is not a destination, it is a journey. The real question is not whether people have entered the financial system, but whether finance is helping them move towards economic independence. If inclusive finance does not raise incomes, expand opportunities, reduce vulnerability, and allow people to stand on their own 2 feet, then it risks becoming a revolving door. People move from exclusion to formal credit, but never quite move beyond fragility. The goal must not be participation alone, but progress. The first and most fundamental truth in this regard is that most economic growth itself is the strongest and most sustainable form of financial inclusion. When an economy is generating jobs, incomes, markets, and demand, people do not need to be forced into the financial system. They enter naturally. They save because they earn. They borrow because they see opportunities. They invest because the future looks larger than the present. No amount of financial institutions can substitute for what economic growth can bring. Finance is a complement to growth, not a replacement for it. Where livelihoods are stagnant, inclusion becomes fragile. Where livelihoods are expanding, inclusion becomes a self-reinforcing process. So when finance is properly aligned with real economic activity, it can become a powerful catalyst for growth. And that is what we have seen with many of the awardees and their role in society and in lifting the people they serve in order to take on greater challenges. And in the scheme of things that the government has been implementing, few examples illustrate this more clearly today than the experience of India's street vendors under the PM Swanidhi program. Street vendors, as we all know, were among the hardest hit during the pandemic. When economic activity came to a halt, their working capital disappeared overnight. What Swanidhi did was deceptively simple. It restored liquidity. But what has emerged since is far more significant. Independent assessments now show that vendors who entered the scheme did not merely recover. Many of them expanded, invested, and strengthen their livelihoods in a sustained way. Those who progress through successive loan cycles have seen their business grow faster than even the economy around them. They have not only increased turnover, but also improved margins, indicating that something structural has changed: productivity, scale, efficiency. Particularly telling is how the poorest and smallest vendors have behaved. Many of them use their access to credit to invest in basic assets, such as carts, storage, and equipment that allow them to transition from survival trading to more productive operations. In doing so, they crossed invisible thresholds that had previously kept them trapped in low return activity. This is exactly what inclusive finance is meant to do. It is not merely to smooth consumption or to help people cope. It is to help them invest, grow, and escape low productivity equilibria. But this is also where caution is necessary. Inclusion that turns into indiscriminate lending destroys its own purpose. Credit that is not matched by rising earning capacity leads to stress and not empowerment. The global history of microfinance is marked by numerous episodes where well-intentioned expansion ultimately led to over-indebtedness. Here again, Swanidhi offers an important lesson. Most borrowers use their loans for business purposes, not just to roll over old debt. Very few used it to repay money lenders. That tells us something important. These were credit-constrained entrepreneurs, not debt-trapped households. And repayment has generally been strong, not because of coercion or collateral, but because the loans were aligned with daily cash flows and real business activity. When finance fits the rhythm of work, people behave responsibly. This is not a moral statement, but an economic statement. Yet, even well-designed credit cannot do everything on its own. One of the main reasons people fall behind on repayments is not due to laziness or irresponsibility, but rather to unexpected events such as especially health-related shocks. When illness strikes, even a growing business can stumble. This is why inclusive finance must be embedded in a broader ecosystem of protection, including affordable healthcare, insurance, and social security. Without that, lenders face a higher risk and borrowers face higher vulnerability. Linking credit to health protection is not charity, but it is sound development finance. Now let me turn to the second pillar of inclusion, the responsibility of investors. Inclusive finance institutions are not ordinary commercial lenders. They are intermediaries between capital markets and some of the most economically vulnerable yet entrepreneurial people in society. That creates a moral and economic obligation. Investors cannot demand from these institutions the same returns they demand from consumer lending or speculative fintech without distorting behavior. If capital insists on high returns, institutions will chase volumes and margins. They will push loans, extend tenure, and blur the line between productive credit and consumption credit. The result may look like inclusion in the short run, but it is extraction in the long run. True impact investing means explicitly pricing in social return and accepting lower financial return in exchange. That is not a weakness, it is the very definition of responsibility in this sector. The discipline of lower expected returns gives institutions the scope to focus on customer success rather than just portfolio growth. But as I mentioned earlier, credit alone, however well designed, is not enough to produce independence. Capability matters as much as capital does. This is where financial literacy comes in. Not in the narrow sense of knowing your interest rates, but in the deeper sense of understanding cash flow, risk, savings, insurance, and the difference between productive and unproductive borrowing. A financially literate entrepreneur knows when not to borrow. She builds buffers. She invests in assets. She thinks in terms of seasons and not days. Literacy transforms the borrower from a passive recipient of products into an active manager of her own economic life. Yet, literacy also needs opportunity. People become financially capable not only by being taught, but by being placed inside real markets. This is why linking small borrowers to supply chains, platforms, and stable buyers is so powerful. A street vendor who sells only to random passers-by lives in a world of uncertainty. A vendor who supplies a school, a factory, or a delivery platform begins to live in a world of contracts, predictability, and scale. This is how inclusion leads to formalization. digital payments, invoicing, bank accounts, and repayment histories make businesses viable. Visibility creates creditworthiness, and creditworthiness in turn opens the door to mainstream finance. In the Swanidhi experience, digital adoption has surged. Transaction records are being created for millions of vendors who were previously invisible to the banking system. That is the bridge from informality to formality. But that bridge must be used. Mainstream banks cannot be spectators to this process. They must actively absorb these new proven borrowers into their core portfolios. Swanidhi has demonstrated that street vendors can be disciplined, grow, and they can be reliable too. The question now is whether the formal banking system is willing to recognize that reality and offer them overdrafts, MSME loans, insurance, and working capital lines, not as beneficiaries of a scheme, but as ordinary clients. Graduation is the missing link in too much of inclusive finance. We are good at entry, but we need to grow beyond that. We are very poor at ascent. A person should not remain a micro borrower forever. If her business grows, her financial options should grow with it. Finally, let me underline one truth that is often forgotten in the discussions on inclusion. The most powerful financial inclusion tool is not a loan, but a timely payment to these micro entrepreneurs. When governments, corporations, and platforms pay their micro and small suppliers on time, working capital stress collapses, borrowing falls, and financial fragility recedes. In that sense, inclusive finance does not have to be a separate heroic effort. It can be built into the everyday ethics of commerce. Fair contracts and prompt settlement do more for small enterprises than microcredit ever will. So let me end where I began. The goal of inclusive finance is not merely to create more borrowers, it is to create more independent, productive, and confident economic citizens. It is to help people move from fragility to resilience, from informality to formality, from subsistence to aspiration. Those we honored today are not merely providing financial services. At their best, they are building ladders, and my deep gratefulness and gratitude to them for doing what they are doing. They are building ladders out of vulnerability and into opportunity. The true test of success is not how many people step onto the first rung, but how many climb high enough so that the ladders will no longer be needed. That is the standard we should hold ourselves to. And on a final note, let me thank both HSBC Bank and Access Financial Services for doing what they have been doing for more than 17 years, which is to recognize the role of financial inclusion in creating and lifting economic aspirations and translating them into lived reality. I once again wish them many more success for many more years to come, and also wish all the recipients of today's awards and their beneficiaries a more productive, economically fulfilling, and personally satisfying year and decades ahead. Thank you very much for having me on this occasion.
Thank you, Dr. Nageswaran, for your gracious presence here today and for that very inspiring keynote address, and for taking out the time to be with us here today and felicitating all these winners. May I now request Mr. Vipin Sharma, CEO Access, to kindly felicitate our honored guests, Dr. V. Anantha Nageswaran, Chief Economic Advisor of India, Department of Economic Affairs, Ministry of Finance, Government of India. We're very thankful to you, sir, for your presence here today. On behalf of Access and HSBC, I place on record our gratitude to our esteemed guest, Dr. V. Anantha Nageswaran. Our heartfelt thanks and gratitude to Sri Hitendra Dave, Chief Executive Officer, HSBC India. Thank you, sir, for being here with us. It's been an honor to have you here in our midst today. May I now request Mr. Sharma to kindly do us the honors. Okay, so this is a special memento going out on behalf of Mr. Hitendra Dave. May I request Mr. Hitendra Dave, CEO HSBC India, to now present a special token of gratitude on behalf of Axis and HSBC India to Dr. V. Anantha Nageswaran. And now may I request all the award winners to please come up on the stage for a group photo op. All of you together on the stage with the honorable dignitaries. Please join us. Do carry your awards and shields. I'm sure it'll make for a very pretty picture. And once again, thank you all for joining us here today to celebrate these exemplary institutions and individuals.